Dive into the year 2024. Not much has changed because I didn't set goals. In the wise words of Tony Robbins, setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible into the visible. And while the incredible James Clear says that small incremental steps and systems is the way to effectively get to the best results, we must first look at goals to find one direction. You don't know you're beautiful. More on systems in another video. So before you take one more look at this girl's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa in November, these are the 17 easy financial goals for 2024 and how I am changing my life with them. This is going to be very helpful for any type of person that wants to be financially free. I've read hundreds of books, papers, statistics, and studies to find the 17 best financial goals for 2024 so you don't have to waste your time. So grab your very large coffee, get out a notepad and a pen, or a pencil if you prefer, and let's get to work. In this video, we will discuss, and feel free to take notes and create your goal along with this video, how to set small goals to create massive wealth, debt goals, budgeting goals, investing goals, and financial education. Feel free to scroll to the section you would like. I promise I won't be mad. And stay tuned until the end of this video to get your 50 financial goal freebies for 2024. If you had a quarter for every time somebody mentioned SMART goals, you'd probably already be a millionaire. So while this is a great way to set goals, let me help you supercharge them. Ramit Sethi, Netflix superstar of I Will Teach You to Be Rich, states, stop asking $3 questions and start asking $30,000 questions. Now, before you're like, oh, I don't have $30,000, this just means that we need to focus on big goals that will move the needle so we don't have to worry about spending money on lattes. So in order to create our most effective goals, we need to combine SMART goals with an extremely narrow approach. Let me explain. SMART goals stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I will explain how to use SMART goals in each section as we cover each topic. Just know that we need to use metrics that feel comfortable yet a bit challenging for our unique lives. Combine SMART goals with a challenge that will impact your finances the most and you have a winning formula. For example, instead of cutting out those $3 lattes that really honestly are not doing much, and I'm sorry, but I am basic. I love myself pumpkin spice latte. But that's basically only $1,000 a year that you're saving on. Instead of that, think of starting a side hustle. And I don't mean like rah-rah Gary Vee side hustle. I'm talking about like a legitimate part-time job on the weekends, like being a coat person, like taking the coats for $20 an hour. So you can earn an extra $100. And that will actually help move the needle more if you're focusing more on getting more money and making more money rather than cutting out the occasional latte. I want you to dream and dream about your financial future, not some like stuffy financial bro in the back just huddling next to the spreadsheet. I want you to think about that pina colada in paradise, if that's your thing, or that mansion, just thinking about what it would be like to be financially free. While we are in this mindset of possibility and yes, I can, I want you to write down 10 goals that you will have for yourself for 2024. Now, these do not need to be SMART goals. They just need to be something that is impactful to your finances. I will share my 10 goals just so you can get an idea of what will actually make an impactful personal finance goal. Also, let me know in the comments what goal resonates with you the most, or when you write down these goals, what goal you have in the comments below. I can't wait to read these. Number 1, add $500 to my emergency fund. If you are a chronic worrier like me, this will help give you ease of mind and it will help you with unexpected expenses. A recent study stated 63% of Americans couldn't cover a $500 unplanned expense. So let's try to be ahead of that if possible. Pay off $200 of my highest interest credit card. This is super important because credit card fees accumulate into huge snowballs. For example, $1,000 on a credit card with a 17% interest rate, which is quite the average, equate to an additional $170 you will pay in interest alone just for that year. No, we are not letting companies take our money. Add 5% of my paycheck to my Roth IRA. This can be automated so you don't even have to think about it. If you're thinking like, what is a Roth IRA? Let me know in the comments below. I'll make a whole video about that. Number 4, max out my Roth IRA. This is my retirement account that we just spoke about. This is for someone who is making a bit more income. The maximum that you can contribute for 2024 is $7,000. Number 5, read a chapter of a financial book each week. This could include I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. May have heard of him. Richer, Wiser, Happier, or One Up on Wall Street. These are my favorites. I highly recommend. Make an additional $100 each week with a realistic side hustle. So I'm talking about babysitting, tutoring, talking about teaching, part-time job. I'm thinking of becoming a coat checker because honestly, those tips are really nice. And it might not be glamorous, but it will get you closer to your goal faster. Save $1,000 for a vacation and don't use a credit card. Saving for a vacation instead of putting it on your credit card is a great hack to spend on something you enjoy while not worrying about it 5 years later. Spend less than I make. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is super easy and super simple. So yes, if you want to simplify your finances, this is the best way to do so. If you just want a completely hands-off approach, just keep thinking, spend less than I make each month, invest as much as you can, and save it. You're good to go. Save $1,000 for an additional certification. I haven't decided what certification I want yet, but it will be finance-based since that is what I'm studying now, or yoga. I really like yoga. Can't really do crow pose right now, but that's okay. The certification is about $4,000 on average, so I would use the chunking method and reverse budgeting to go $4,000 about 4 years down the road. I realistically can do this in 4 years if I save $1,000 each year for the yoga certification. And I'm happy to take classes while I am saving. So the moral of that story is just to create a bigger or another stream of income so you can be making more money in the future. Pay my bills twice or 3 times a month. Not only are we going to attack the credit card with the most high interest, we are going to jab, jab, right hook. Bonus points if you can let me know in the comments who that's from for each month. For example, I pay $200 on the 7th day of the cycle, then $200 on the 14th, and $200 on the 21st. My average daily balance drops to $660, and this creates $19,800, which divided by 30 days is $660. Paying the same amount on your credit card, but paying it early and in installments can actually reduce the interest rate in this case by nearly 1/3. With these goals in mind, we have successfully figured out what a focused goal is that is very narrow and makes the most impact in your personal finance journey. Let's head over now to each category to get a little bit more specific to create the perfect goal for 2024 for your own personal finance journey. I paid off $80,000 worth of student loans with the goals that I'm going to share with you now. And no, my parents didn't pay a cent of college. And yes, I got several scholarships and grants. So you may be looking at your debt right now and going, holy interest, Batman. Like you're not even getting close to your principal payment. You're just paying the interest rates. Like, yeah, I get that. It's stressful. It's a lot. And frankly, it stinks. James Clear states in his rule Atomic Habits, the 1% rule, if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. So essentially, these very small steps that you take to repay your debt and put in a little bit additional money, even if it's $5, ends up to be a huge outcome. Breathe a little bit, relax, and just know that these small incremental things really do add up, especially in finance when we talk about compound interest. So let's get into that. With the 10 goals that we wrote down, or the goal that you have in mind, we're going to get a little bit more specific and go through the 4 goals for debt. Goal number 1, pay $100 extra towards your highest interest rate credit card by the end of the year. This does not include the minimum payment. Warning, this will cause huge savings. For example, say we have a credit card that is $5,000 with 17% interest. The average interest rate is actually 22% on credit cards. That is crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy. Talk about kicking someone when they're down. If we pay off the minimum at, let's say, $100, we will pay $3,779.18 in interest alone. Enough for a yoga certification. Sheesh. If we add only an additional $8 to each payment, which equates $100 for the year, the total interest goes down to $3,197.72, meaning we will save $600. Goal number 2, renegotiate one bill by the end of the year. Most companies want to keep you around. They get a little bit lonely. You hold so much power when it comes to cable, electricity, internet. Schedule a time to call about getting a lower monthly payment or shop around to find lower rates from competitors. You can also use this for your phone as well. Goal number 3, pay off an additional $50 per month in student loans. The average public university student borrows $32,637 to attain a bachelor's degree. No more forgiveness, although some jobs will forgive your student loans. If you would like a video on that, let me know. Paying off your student loans faster and more aggressively can save you hundreds of dollars. Choose a dollar amount that is realistic for you. For me, that's an extra $600 per year. Break that down into 12 months and you have an additional $50. For you, that might be a little bit more or a little bit less depending on your income. While the total cost of your student loans would be $35,583 over 10 years, if you paid just an extra $50 per month, you will save close to $1,000 and will be paid in 9 years. So you cut out 1 year and you save $1,000. Imagine if you can put an additional $100 into that. Goal number 4, split your auto loan to twice a month. This is a fun hack to save big bucks because actually your auto loan is compounding daily. By paying early, you can cut down on the principal faster. Watch out for prepayment penalties and make sure the payment is applied to the principal. Check your monthly statements to make sure it is applied correctly. Look into refinancing your car as well. Being able to practice this exercise of setting goals for your debt not only puts you in control of your money, but it gives you a little bit of hope and a bigger peace of mind, no matter how crazy that debt number is. So should you have a debt goal or an investment goal? Should you pay off your debt first or your investment first? Fidelity actually has the 6% rule, which means that if your credit card or whatever debt you have, whether it's student loans or credit cards, auto loans, mortgage, whatever it is, if the interest rate is 6% or lower, you can focus on investing. If it's 6% or higher, you need to focus on the debt. If it's 6%, then maybe flip a coin. But that's just a rule of thumb because then your investments are growing at a higher interest rate than your debt if it is 6% or lower. If it is 6% or higher, then you want to pay off that high interest rate because if you're just investing, then you're essentially losing money if you're not making that 6% per year. But I mean, everybody who is a financial guru is making more than 6%, so... And you don't have to look at this from a statistic point of view. You can also look at this from a human point of view using your emotional perspective as well. What I mean by that is if you're more of a balanced person and you want to tackle your debt and invest, by all means do so. If you want to do that, it's completely up to you. Personal finance is personal, so I can tell you what studies have shown and what's better mathematically, but if it's not better for you as a person, we are people, as a person, and emotionally, and you feel better, say you only have a little bit of credit cards left or you only have a little bit of debt left, and you want to start investing to create those healthy habits, go ahead and do that. 84% of Americans say they have overspent on their budget, and inflation is absolutely crazy. How much was your bag of lettuce? It was $1,000. Yours? Oh man, you got a good deal. Creating goals for your income and cutting down practically can help you with your budget. Creating a higher income will ultimately lead to a more sustainable life. It will also provide a higher margin of safety. Cutting expenses on things that you don't really care about can also be beneficial. Just tread lightly on that. These goals will only be income-based because that will ultimately lead to a higher, better result according to studies. One of my absolute favorite and most fun ways to make money. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but it's called UGC, user generated content. It's how all of your favorite influencers who actually are authentic. This has been so much fun. I'm such a creative person. If you are a creative person and love getting free gifts, then this might be for you. So I got this skincare product, all natural ingredients. It is amazing. It's just wonderful. I received it, I wrote a review about it and did a video on it, and that's all they wanted in return. I got over $200 worth of this product, and as you can see, there's nothing left in it. So hey Bud Skincare, if you are listening to this, can you please send me more of this? If you want to learn more about making money online, or about how to make a side hustle or even a full-time income, because a lot of people do that now as well, on UGC or user generated content, just let me know in the comments below, because you get really amazing products. They literally sent me a whole box of skincare with this, and all I had to do was review it, leave an honest review. If you would like to look at the website, I don't think I have an affiliate code, but if you want to look at the website for this, I'll link that in the description below. Goal number 1, spend less than you make every week. Attention, this is intentionally not a SMART goal, but it's perfect for the person who just really doesn't want to think about finance that much. According to a recent study, 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I personally have found these tips to be the most helpful, and I live in one of the most expensive cities in the world, New York. Start planning your meals for the week. Use public transportation. Just be careful if you're on the subway. Ew. Buy in bulk. Costco is a great low-cost option, and you can get a hot dog for $1.50. Get your books from the library. Goal number 2, make an additional $100 per week on a side hustle. I have tried doing countless things online, and I can tell you some of them are very realistic and practical, and some of them not so much. And it's a very big barrier of entry. It costs a lot of capital. So here are some great, realistic, practical ways to make an extra $100. Freelancing. Any skill you have, create a page on Fiverr or ask your neighbor for a job. So I do part-time virtual assistance or VA, and that tends to make an average of $18.89 per hour. So if you do that for 6 hours each week, you will make your $100 and then some. Tutoring. Tutors can make $39,000 a year. If you are educating in a certain class, say math, history, English, or science, you can teach after school. You can also do an ESL class as a side job. So if you have a basic understanding of English or math, you can teach 3rd or 4th grade. Music teacher. I have a few students who I teach voice to, and in New York, the average voice teacher costs $100 an hour. Now, I'm just talking about any specific field where you can teach. If you're an expert in that field, just niche into it, go by word of mouth, and go out there and get hired. You can also look for digital courses that you can create as well, as that is very lucrative. Babysitting or dog sitting. This pays $21.92 an hour on average. Please use caution and safety, but this can be highly lucrative. Server and hostess. Hostessing, I highly recommend because you get paid $20 an hour plus tips from the coats that you get. The downside of this is that you're on your feet literally every single hour of the day, and you barely get to eat anything or any break. Part-time or entry-level job on the weekends. Work an entry-level job on the weekends like any fast food chain. On average, you can make $15 per hour. By working 10 hours a week, you can accumulate an extra $100. Goal number 3, negotiate a raise or find a higher paying job by 5% by the end of the year. According to research by Zippia, the average salary increase for those who switch jobs is 14.8%. That's pretty high. Those who stay in a job for more than 2 years tend to make less. While these studies may seem a bit shocking, staying in one place actually isn't the most lucrative. Now, I understand that this might not be the best goal for people who are a little bit nervous about the job atmosphere or environment that we're in, and rightfully so. So staying at a job might cause peace of mind. You already have a rapport with the company. And if you like where you're working, then by all means take that pay cut, but just know that there's an opportunity cost with it. Goal number 4, spend 1 hour a week creating your dream business. Now, this is a fun one because if you've always dreamt of having your own business, do it. Now is the best time to start. Just don't spend any money on it. Use your brain, use your resources. There are countless resources, especially on YouTube, where you can find the education you need. You'll even end up with marketable skills that will help you in the future to get future jobs. And that's the least that you can gain from this. What if your dreams actually became a reality and you had this incredibly flourishing, rich business? Bonus points as you spend time creating and less time on Netflix. So let's talk about my favorite YouTube channels that you can start learning how to create that business that you've always wanted to create. Now, my first one I have to say is Gary V. And yes, I know he's a little bit into the grind culture and I'm more of namaste. But I do think that he has very valid points of just to start creating content to help promote your business before you actually know what you're going to create or have your whole business plan going. I also really like Alex Hormozzi, Cody Sanchez, Earn in Demand, and Ali Abdal. According to research, Social Security will run out by 2037, so it's time to create a retirement fund to be kind to your future self. Using the 4% rule, if you retire at 65 with a portfolio of $1.5 million, and just wait if that seems like a lot right now, you will be able to live on $60,000 a year comfortably. Of course, this completely depends on your own lifestyle, whether you need to increase or decrease that number. Write down your overall retirement goal number. This will help with the goals below. If you're investing for other types of goals, be it a down payment for a house or vacation or for saving for college, then you can put that number as your goal as well. With your goal in mind, let's pick a perfect goal for 2024. Whether you're just starting your investing journey or you are a seasoned investor, these goals will help you focus and actually achieve the goals by the end of 2024. Goal number 1, invest $1,000 in a stock portfolio by the end of the year. If this is your first time investing, starting with a goal of $1,000 might be more reasonable for you to achieve. It's essentially about creating habits so you can be a lifelong investor. Compound interest is a huge factor in letting your money work for you. Let's use an example. If you're 20 years old and add $1,000 into your investing portfolio and just leave it there, without adding another dollar, not even $1, you will end up with $21,000 by the age of 65. This is simply from investing $1,000 only. So if this goal seems right for you, then all you have to do is invest $84 per month. It can even be automated. If you would like a very detailed explanation of how to build a very safe, low-cost index fund investing portfolio that you can put on autopilot, let me know in the comments below. I'll make another video. Goal number 2, invest 10% of your paycheck each week to your stock portfolio for the whole year. According to the richest man in Babylon, investing 10% of your wealth will create abundance for your future self. This helps create the mindset of paying yourself first. As the richest man in Babylon states, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. It should be not less than a tenth. 10 commandments, hello. No matter how little you earn. It can be as much as you can afford. Pay yourself first. I actually love this because this actually shows how cash flow works and it goes with any type of budget that you have. Goal number 3, max out your Roth IRA by the end of the year. A Roth IRA is simply a retirement fund, but it has a lot of tax benefits. I can make another detailed video on that as well, but pretty much all you need to know is that $7,000 is the maximum that you can contribute for 2024. So to get this total, you will need to invest $584 a month or $146 a week. If you're thinking about living comfortably in retirement, this may be a great goal to have for the next 10, 20 years. Goal number 4, get a total of 12 shares of SPY by the end of the year. I see you. Okay, ticker symbol SPY, SPY, is the S&P 500, which basically means it is the 500 top US companies in the world. Think of Google, think of Amazon, and that can all be in one bundle for you to invest in. This should be the foundation of your portfolio if you're looking for a safe long-term investing strategy. If your target goal is $1.5 million for retirement, you will need to reverse engineer your math, which is just a fancy way of saying we need to work our finances backwards depending on your age and budget. For example, if you invest in a low-cost index fund or ETF, like ticker symbol SPY, with an average increase of 7% per year, this is including inflation, if you want to retire at 65 and you are 20 years old, you need to invest $450 per month, which is almost equivalent to one share of SPY. If you are 30 years old, you need to invest $950 or 2 shares of SPY to retire at 65. And if you are 40 years old, you need to invest $2,000 or 4 shares of SPY a month to retire at 65. I absolutely love this strategy because it takes all of the money and scary money goals out of the equation and just turns it into a fun game. Instead of focusing on the dollar signs, we focus on the value of building long-term wealth. A lot of people tend to not know where to start when it comes in terms to investing. And let me tell you, yeah, it is a little bit crazy and it's a little bit confusing. But what I would say is to get a Fidelity account. That's the one that I use. No, I don't have a link in the description. It's just literally the best one besides Vanguard. You can't go wrong with Fidelity. You can't go wrong with Vanguard. And if you would like me to do any tutorials on Fidelity, I just realized that they had a dividend portfolio and it's so easy to sell covered calls with them. And I just absolutely love their interface and love how attentive they are. So I would highly recommend, again, not sponsored. Again, there's 0 affiliate links. I really like Fidelity and I forgot to tell you guys about that. So love ya. 85% of rich people read 2 or more books per month. This is according to Tom Corley, author of Rich Habits, The Daily Success Habits of Wealthy Individuals. In fact, Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, he claims that his key to success was reading 500 pages a day. Whoa, that seems a little bit overwhelming for all of us and not quite practical with the busy lives that we have. So let's focus on a little bit less reading, but still enough where we feel like we've gained enough knowledge. Goal number 1, read 1 chapter of a finance book per week. Create a list of finance books that you may be interested in and read 15 to 30 minutes per day when you're in bed at night to absorb all of the information. These are my top 10 favorite finance books of all time that I would highly recommend. Richer, Wiser, Happier, The Richest Man in Babylon, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, One Up on Wall Street, The Psychology of Money, Little Book of Common Sense Investing, The Simple Path to Wealth, The Millionaire Fast Lane, Die with Zero, Thinking Fast and Slow. Just choose one book to start off with. I would start off with I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Remit Sethi. He goes over all of the finances you need to learn and really does a great foundation showing your present and future self what you need to do for your finances. And he also helps you not feel guilty about spending. Goal number 2, save $500 for a certification by the end of the year. Now, this one comes with a bit of a caveat. We're not going to whisk away $500 into the abyss with no plan of it. You need to research on what can get you the best return on your money for the certification and the career path that you've planned. We need to think in terms of value. What are the skills that I need to learn more about with the career path I have chosen? What skills will give me the best value for the future? What skills can I make the most money with? With these questions in mind, we can research what certifications we need in order to give ourselves a raise with little capital. For example, for me personally, I would like to get my CFA or CPA. Ideally, I would love to get both. Unfortunately, they cost $2,400 to $6,000 and I need to save for them. So if I save $1,000 per year, I will be very close to my goal by the time I graduate. Do not take out a loan for this. Certification should only be implemented when you have the cash to pay for them. We are not getting in any more debt. Say it loud, say it proud. Goal number 3, read 1 article on financial education per day for the year. Yes, you can double up if you miss a day. Reading an article about finance instead of reading a whole book may help you if you are on a time crunch. As an added bonus, you can take notes and then take small steps and actions forward from each article. I've read countless of articles, and these are my favorite publications. I will link them down in the description below. For reference, look into Warren Buffett letters. He shows you all the letters he sends to shareholders, so much information, and what he has learned. Memos from Howard Marks, Dave Ramsey newsletter, Seeking Alpha, Motley Fool, and finally, NerdWallet. Goal number 4, listen to a podcast each week. This is one of the best goals for those who are stuck in traffic and have nothing to do, or are on the subway and just don't want to hear all of the screens. And you also learn best when people are speaking to you and you like to multitask. My go-to podcasts for finance are Gold Digger, The Ramsey Show, Bigger Pockets, The Money Guy Show, A Diary of a CEO, Lewis Howes, and Impact Theory. With these podcasts, you will be on your way to financial freedom. Goals are good for planning your progress, while systems are good for actually making progress. That's by James Clear. It's beautiful and wonderful to think about our goals, but now we need to bring them into reality and set intentions and well-planned action. Wait, Raylan, you only gave us 16 goals. Correct. I am using the last goal as an example on how to create systems. Or you just forgot. Goal number 17, create 12 small finance habits you can easily accomplish by the end of the year. This is best for the creative types who want to try new things frequently, and it will also take a little bit more planning. Using the goal that you wrote down or have in your head, let's create a system. Step number 1, make it obvious. So we want our goal to be specific. Therefore, we will write down one small finance habit by 5 p.m. Sunday for the following month. We will accomplish each habit by 5 p.m. Sunday each week. This could also mean that we use our environment to make our goal more visible. So we can use a beautiful poster that we can hang on our bedroom wall, so when we wake up in the morning, we can focus on that one goal. According to Dr. Gail Matthews, 76% of people who create a system and visually see their goals achieve them. Step number 2, make it attractive. Finance can seem boring and daunting unless you're like me. Excel spreadsheet party. So to make it more attractive, we have our finance habit and we link that with something we actually enjoy. So let's say I want to invest $5 weekly. I can link that with watching Netflix. Who doesn't love watching Wednesday on Wednesdays? Step number 3, make it easy. Turn your goal into the simplest and least scary dream of yours. For example, we have those big, scary yearly goals that we can break down into weekly and monthly to make it more attainable and fun. Instead of feeling worried about creating 12 strong financial habits for the year, focus on adding $5 per week to your investment portfolio. Or more, depending on how much TV you watch. The best part is this will count as progress and habit number 1 for your yearly goal. Step number 4, make it satisfying. Reward yourself. According to Cornell researchers, people who receive immediate, frequent rewards for completing small tasks reported more interest and enjoyment in doing the task than those who don't. So right after the $5 I invested, I will do absolutely nothing for 15 minutes. That sounds wonderful. So now that you have your goal and your action plan, you will be unstoppable for 2024. So now you have your 17 finance goals for 2024. I hope you found your perfect one. Let me know in the comments what your goal is for the year 2024. I will respond to all of the comments. So excited to hear what you chose. Wow, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Raylan. Hi, Raylaners. So if you like investing, budgeting, and you like savings, lifestyle, all that fun jazz, please like and subscribe for more of this content. Hi, how are you guys? Also use the link in the description below for the 50 free finance goals for 2024. These come with different categories that may be a little bit better for your specific goal that you have in mind for your personal finance journey. I wish that each and every one of you are happy and wealthy. I love you so much. Bye. I don't know what to say since a twist of fate. 1989, Taylor Swift, yes. Good for her, good for her for making her own record. And the record companies are just like, yeah, about that. We don't want you to do that anymore. You can't recreate your own songs that we stole from you. Sorry. Friends, we gather here today